Hello, testing. Hello, testing. Hi everyone, we are currently setting up. It'll be just a moment. Hello. Hello.
You know, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to hand you over to Poppy and she might be able to tell you. It should be in your email. Frank wants to know the password.
Oh, there's a password.
The meeting ID and the password. Did you get an email?
No, we got, well, I do have a separate email, but I didn't see it.
I can email him the link.
Yeah, we could email it to you. What's your email? Oh, no, don't fill it out. What's your email? Well, the text didn't have the link, but the email has the link. So what's your email, and we'll email it to you right now.
Hi everyone, we're still setting up.
Oh, the password. What's the password? An ID number.
We don't have a password for this, but we do have an ID number.
There's no password, but there's an ID number.
Yeah.
So what is your email?
It's the meeting ID. It's 8308042.
Okay. Can you type it? Frank? F-R-A-N-K. No, in the recipient. Frank dot F-R-E-N. That's all. That's it. At gmail.com. And this is the Zoom meeting ID. There we go. It was sent. Okay.
Yes. So that way we can log into a different computer.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. And if you have any questions, I guess from now on, I'm going to turn my phone off. So go ahead and text or email the number on the email on the text. All right, thanks. Good luck. Bye. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure everyone can hear us, as I'm doing audio through my phone here. So.
Oh, hi.
Yes. So, just to start off, just to make sure everyone can hear us. You guys hear us?
Who's there?
Yep.
Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi,
Hey.
Cindy.
Hi, guys.
All right, great. We're good to go. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are doing Jimmy's workshop today. He's going to teach you guys how to do a dotting mandala. Yeah, so this is Jimmy right here. And then, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so I hope everyone's having a good time. Today, gathered to do to learn how to do mandala painting. And I have to take this off because my glasses just don't work. So. Anyways. So in your kits, wait, am I supposed to start off with talking about something in particular?
Oh, it's up to you. If
Okay.
you had something that you wanted people to think about while we're doing this, or if you had something like a question you wanted to ask.
No, I don't. I'm just going to get right into it. So you guys, you have your kit. This is a really good kit, you guys. You guys scored.
And everybody has their kits, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
All
cool.
right.
So what I like to do, and you might want to do this if you get into it, is you can get like a jar or a little can or something like this. And then you can put your things in there, so they're easily accessible and they're not rolling around and stuff. But I have this really cool, which camera is it on? Is it on me?
No.
It's on that one. Oh.
It's on this one. It's going to be on that one.
It's so delayed. Why is there a delay?
My PB internet.
Oh no. Okay, so anyways, I like to put these in here.
Oh.
We're probably not going to use this. Oop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go get my charger.
You going to go get what?
My charger.
All right, so you've got all these instruments, and notice that they vary in size. So these are really unique because basically one side is all the same size. So you really want to take a look at them. The red is the tiniest as far as I know. And then I think it goes yellow, and then probably white, and then blue, then green. So just know that there's smaller tips and then there's the bigger tips. But I don't know why this is not even in there. I can't even do this. All right, so there you go. We're going to get started by looking at some of the different examples. So you can paint basically on anything as long as the paint sticks to it. Rocks, of course. Here's a mini canvas. Oh my God, I can't even. Here's a rock. Here, there it goes. And then here's an ornament. So, you know, just a variety of different things that you can paint on. You were given a little canvas, and I had to actually paint one. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, but I want you guys to, I don't know how I can adjust this better. Sorry, this is so disorganized this time. So go ahead and grab a piece of paper, and some of you might not have gotten this in your kit, but a piece of cardstock or a piece of paper, or even just like a Post-it note or something would work. And if you want, you can open up your, let's do black. Uh-oh, this is not going to be good, but oh well. So we're going to start, let's start with, how can you adjust that?
Yeah.
Hang on just a sec, you guys. And then have some tissues or a wet nap. I like to use wet naps. Or you can use a paper towel to clean it. But okay, here we go. Whoa, a little bit closer if you can. Will it bend down? There, that's good. So, oh my gosh. How do I just move it around? Sorry, you guys, there's a delay. It's really kind of confusing. So we're going to practice using one of the tools. So pick one of the tools. It doesn't have to be a particular size. And when you dip it straight down. So it's on the bottom like that. And then you're going to make a mark. And it helps, especially with these flat-ended things, it helps to go straight up and down. And you just kind of want to kiss it. And then you'll make a dot. So practice making your dots. You can make, you know, as many as you want. Now you want to probably with this dip each time, otherwise they're going to change size. But you'll notice that if you keep the same size, I mean, if you use the same tool, they're all going to be roughly the same size, which is kind of fun. So here I'm going to wipe this off. We'll try it with another one. We'll try it with the big one. Let's do the big one. So, now, one of the things you want to keep in mind is if you press too hard, you might slide like that, and that's not what you want, obviously. So just keep practicing. When you feel confident, you know, we're going to move along to the canvas. But on the paper, practice making some dots.
Can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah.
I wanted to introduce our counselor today. Her name is Veronica. She'll be here. If anyone's feeling stressed or they need help, she'll be here. We can make a breakout room for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia.
Oh, that's her. Oh, hi. How's it going?
Yes.
How are you doing, Jimmy? I didn't get
Good,
to
how
speak
are
with you
you?
beforehand. Awesome. This is an awesome way to de-stress.
Yeah, I find this to be very meditative. I love doing it. I love doing it. It's a great way to relax. I don't watch television or movies, so I spend a lot of time doing art, listening to music, playing music, stuff like that. So
Right.
we're gonna do a smaller one. So go ahead and experiment with these wonderful tools that you got in the kit. You'll be able to make different sizes using different size tools. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that if you're caught in the wilderness and you can't have access to tools, you can use any manner of things. You could use toothpicks, you can use pencils. Here's like a knitting needle. I can't tell. There's a knitting needle. Here's a crochet hook. And so what you want to do is use the back of the crochet hook. So, you know, you can just make a spot with that. That was a very good spot. But here's a pencil. You could use the flat end of an unsharpened pencil or the eraser. And even like at the Dollar Tree, they have these dotting tools now. So, you know, if you need an extra dotting tool, you can always try that. So speaking of the smaller dotting tools, what we're going to do now is go ahead and clean off your tool that you were using. And let's switch to the blue one if you have, or the green one of the bigger ones. I know some of you guys are sharing a kit, so pick one of the bigger tools, and you'll notice that there's a skinny end and then there's a thicker end. So go to the thicker end, dip it in your color, and then just make one dot. And then you're going to make another dot next to it, and you'll find that they're the same size. So if you want to make the same size dot, you're going to want to dip each time, and you'll be able to make a pretty consistent size dot. All right. I'm going to switch papers here. Now I'm going to show you how to do something called walking the dots. So go ahead and dip it once, and then make a dot. And then before dipping it in the paint again, make another dot, and another dot, and another one, and another one, and another one. And you'll see that they get smaller in size. So practice that, because this is a very important step in mandala dot painting, is doing these graduated dots. And it's an easy way to lay the paint down in a line that gives you an interesting kind of look, because they get smaller. So practice doing that. Do it as much as you want. I'm going to go in the center here and go out. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to do a curve line now, because you will be doing curve lines. So get comfortable doing this. I know some of you have already done some dot painting before, so it's not going to be too tough for you guys. But if you notice, I put my pinky down. See my pinky here? There's such a delay, it's driving me nuts. So my pinky is there. You can use your pinky or rest your hand on the surface you know, not on the actual rock, but on your desk, and then that'll help give you stability too. It's better than doing it, you know, without doing that. Sometimes people put their hand down like that, and then they rest their hand on top of their hand.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are these just regular acrylic paints?
These are just regular acrylic paints, yeah. But you want to use the ones that come in the little 2-ounce bottles, the more liquid acrylic. The ones that come in the tube can be used, but you're not going to get the same result. You're going to be getting a thicker paint, so you'll have a heavier body, and you can always thin that out with a little water or um, gel medium or something like that, or a flow medium to get them more of a liquid state. But if you buy the little 2-ounce bottles, I think I brought some. Hang on a sec. And I didn't, but you know, those little 2-ounce bottles that are about, you know, this big.
Yeah.
Those work. A tip with that is to go ahead and splurge and get the expensive dollar bottles rather than the 79-cent bottles, because the paint actually has a little bit more pigment in it. And the paint that you have in your kit is a student grade, so it's still going to work. But when you are serious about this and you want to do this at home, go ahead and get the dollar paint rather than the 79 or the 50-cent paint, because you'll find that the pigment is a lot.
And I noticed on the rock that I bought from you the first time that there's a black coating on it. What is that?
Yeah, that's a base coat.
Okay.
That's the base coat. Now, in your kit, you got a pre-gessoed canvas, which is already black.
Okay.
But like, for instance, that was just plain wood, like that.
Oh, okay.
So I painted the background.
Okay, is the base just acrylic paint, or is that something else?
It's just acrylic paint. Everything's acrylic paint.
Okay.
You could use you know, ink, I guess, if you wanted, but you would want to make sure that you seal it, so it when it gets wet, it doesn't bleed or run. That's what's great about acrylic. And that's another thing I should mention. So if any of you kids are out there, make sure you're wearing clothes that your mom doesn't care if you get some paint on it, because this is acrylic paint, and once it's dry, it's pretty permanent. So, and then I don't know if you guys know this, but this is also like, these are nail dotting tools. So you might know that, you know, sometimes people like do their nails and everything like that. And so you can have fun with that too. But
And
you would probably want,
that'll stay on there once it
no,
dries?
you would probably want to use like nail polish to do this.
Oh,
So,
okay. Got it.
But it's fun. You can practice with it. You can decorate all kinds of things.
Okay.
You know, you can go nuts if you want. But these tools are a great way to make these different diameter dots and everything like that. So anyways, so do you guys feel pretty confident with making the dots?
Yep.
You ready to move to the next step? Let's try a smaller dot. Go to your red one or the back of any of the other ones, and you'll see that it has a smaller tip on it. And then we'll do it in red this time. So you'll see it makes a much smaller dot. So, you know, the smaller dots are what you use for detail and whatnot. But it's the same thing if you walk it. Now, if you want, let's say, for instance, you want to do a line of dots around a circle. So you can do the same size dot over and over again, like that. And I don't know if this is close enough, but I think that's about as close as the camera can get. But if you want a row of dots that's the same size, you just want to dip in the paint each time. If you want to have a row of dots that is graduated in size, and we call that walking the dot, you want to place a dot and then maybe place another one, and then just keep going smaller and smaller and smaller. And we'll be doing that on the actual piece. So you guys get comfortable, make sure you, feel comfortable making these basic dot shapes, because what you're going to do next is you're going to start doing it on the canvas. And when you do it on the canvas, I mean, you can make a mistake because you have the black paint. You can dry it, maybe scrape it off. There are tools out there. I don't know if you have them. We don't have them in our kit, but there are tools like this that have a little silicone tip on it. Oh my gosh, I have to, where is it? Over here. And then you can use that to scrape away the paint like that. And when you do it on paint, it scrapes a bit. So you can get rid of the bulk of it, then you can come in with a little black and then touch it up. So yeah, you'll make mistakes at first. So, but that should be later down the road. So now think about the colors that you want to do. You have the primary colors in this kit, which are red, blue, and green. And of course, blue and yellow make green. I mean, red, blue, and yellow. These colors, blue and yellow, make green. This makes purple. Blue and red makes purple. And of course, it depends on the type of red and the type of blue that will give you the different results. But let's just do this. I'm going to mix a little bit. You have a brush kit with your set. So open up your brush kit. Oh. Maybe the round brush.
Oh, you got it.
Now, I would just leave the paint inside of your paint cup. See, that makes a really gross purple. So these are basically the wrong reds and blues to put together to make a purple, but it still makes kind of a purple, right? So it's not the best purple. This is not the best. This is not the best palette to use. A better palette would be a cup palette like this, because it has a little cup. That's why I'm saying you might want to just keep your paint inside these cups right now. But when if you want to do this at home, try and get one of these cup palettes, because it has more of a well and it creates a well. But you can also just squeeze the paint out onto a piece of cardboard and use it that way too. So, uh-oh. What happened?
It says low battery. Just a moment. I just want to make sure that.
Might not be charging.
Just a moment, everybody.
Got a different charger? Try the USB on that side. Sometimes that's what it does on mine. I didn't hear it go. Didn't hear it make a noise.
This is a really bad time for my charger to not work.
Do you have another charger?
Got it to work.
You got it. Okay.
Okay, everybody, we're good.
Okay, it's charging. I can't tell. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and with that purple, I'm going to make some dots. I probably should have mixed the yellow and the red to make orange, or the yellow and the blue to make green. It would have been more effective. So think about the colors. If you have, and I'm sure you do, oh my God, there's no water in there. If you have paints at home, feel free to use your own paint at home. There's different types of paints out there. There's metallic paints. There's the glitter paints, and there's the matte paints. I really don't like to use the matte paint except for the background. I prefer the satin paints or the gloss paints. And, you know, you can experiment with the different types of paints. The glitter paints, don't use a glitter paint that has a really thick glitter in it, because that's going to kind of, sometimes the glitter is too chunky. And it still works, like, but I would reserve that for like the very last dot that you do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if this is dry. It's not really dry. So I'm gonna show you what to do here. Hang on, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna switch it to
Okay.
So if you have a blow dryer, it could help to dry things a little bit quicker. This is a little wet, so let me just blow dry this. And in the meantime, go ahead and think about the colors that you might want to do. Oh, this isn't working.
Oh, no.
Does it not get plugged in?
Oh, plugged in. Here.
Wait, it's down there. It's underneath the heater.
Oh.
Maybe it got.
Yeah, let me turn this on. Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on, guys. So this, for instance, is, I'm going to make a little noise. The colors on this, that's called an analogous color scheme. So it's reds, yellows, and oranges. I think that's what it, yeah, analogous. Uh-oh, I don't have a blow dryer. That's a color scheme that you can do. You can do, for instance, you can do blues and greens, or you can mix it up. Here's something that's a bunch of different colors. You know, there's some orange and purples and blues. I didn't bring too many examples. So think about what you want to do. I like to start with a black dot in the middle. It's not working. Let's see.
Computer works and the computer works.
It's not plugged in. Oh, that's the heater.
The heater. This is the blow dryer.
Oh, push the red button. Oh. So sorry about the noise. So you're gonna grab your canvas. Go ahead and grab your canvas, and we're gonna determine the center line. So one of the ways to do that is to create an X, and I'll show you in just a second how to do that.
A question, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey, so do you, when you put down like the black dot, do you dry it in between before adding another color?
You know what? You don't have to. You just want to make sure that you don't touch it. But I find that what I do is I'll do a dot and then I'll do other dots. And then when I come back to that dot, it'll be dry. It's a little cold in this studio right here. That's why I brought a blow dryer. But usually in a warmer environment, it's not going to be a problem. It dries in a few minutes. So watch out, that's behind you. So here we have this. I don't have a ruler. Do you guys have a ruler by chance?
Big old thing down here. But it's a little bit.
With you guys, you just have to make an X on your canvas. I found a ruler, yay. So 4 inches, and I don't have a pencil, so I'm gonna use this. 4 inches. All right, so this is something that you guys, I'm gonna have to take my glasses off. This is something that you guys don't have to worry about because you have a square canvas. But what you guys want to do is you want to make an X, and you can use a pencil or just your tool and create like a little line in the middle. And then make an X this way. Is there a pencil? Hand me a pencil. Oh my gosh, what kind of studio is this? There's no...
Very disorganized one.
Okay, here, I'm gonna use a pen.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it works now. Okay, so go ahead with your pencil and make a little X in the center. Okay. Where's the cat? Oh, there. So does everyone have their X in the middle?
Mhm.
Okay. So go ahead and I'm going to do yellow just so it shows up. Grab one of the bigger tools. I would use one of these two. Okay, so you could use the even bigger one, which I don't know where it went, but you don't have to. The green one, yeah. The green one's a little too big. I'm going to actually use the pink. No, I'll use the yellow. How is it there? Yeah, the green one. The green one, you could use it. It's a little too big. So I'm going to use this. So dip it. Oh my gosh. Okay, dip it in your paint. Go backwards. I guess I just moved the box and not the camera. Okay, so dip it in your paint. I'm going to use yellow. You can use whatever color you want, you guys. This is up to you. And then in the middle, oh, the delay is incredible. Look at that delay.
Yeah.
Is the camera moving for you guys, or is it real jerky?
Looks good.
It looks good? Okay. So I'm going to make a dot.
Sorry about the trade.
Can you put it to more the center? Like right now it's at an angle.
Wait, say it again.
Can you put it to the center of the screen? Right now it's hard to see because it's at an angle.
No, it's a, yes, push it that way. That's, yes, thank you.
I'm holding it up now.
That's all.
Oh, because it's at an angle. Oh, well, I don't know. I can't really do that because I have to tilt my box.
Oh.
But anyways, I'll tilt it up. See, there's a circle. So make your circle. I'm going to do it twice because I just want it a little thicker. There you go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine's not perfect. And then, let's see. Go ahead and grab, I'm going to use the blue or the green one. Okay. Uh-oh. Software update.
No. That doesn't affect the face.
Okay. All right. So you can even use the white one. But now remember, there's a small side and a bigger side. So use the bigger side on either the white, the blue, or the green. And I'm going to switch to white because I want it to be kind of like bright in the middle. So I'm going to use a white. And then the thing that you want to do is you want to do it at noon and 6 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock at 9 o'clock. So I just visualize it in my head. But if you want, you could use, you can make an X across and you could follow that. But I'm just going to do, there's at noon. And then you go straight down and you do 6 o'clock like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then now I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to do 3 o'clock. And I'm gonna do 9 o'clock. And if you're a night owl like me, that's a great time. All right, so after you do your 4 corners, like north, south, east, west type of thing, this is for doing like 8 dots. When you get better at it, you can hang on, let me get my piece of paper. Oh my God. When you get better at it, you can do different things. You can do a triangle like this, and then you can do 6. So, you know, you're doing basically, you're doing a triangle. Oh, this pen does not work. And then you can do like different, you know, sometimes 6 is nice because you're doing actually less dots to create the design, but we're going to keep it simple and we're going to do 8. That's okay. I don't need anything. So now after you do this like that, you want to fill it in. So you want to right between those 2, you want to put a dot. Okay, like that. Oh, thank you. There's another dot. Oh, it looks like an egg. So there, you should have something like that. And if it doesn't look good at all, you can take like a wet nap and you can wipe the whole thing away, which I might even do just to show you. But no, actually I'm not, because this is freshly painted. So anyways, so after you do that, you can take the same tool and you can turn it around, or you can grab one of the smaller tools and then go ahead and dip it in, and you're going to go between those with an even smaller one. I guess you can see that. So you've got all these spaces to fill. And the cool thing about this is once you get the first row down, it kind of makes it easier for all the subsequent rows to be filled in, because it's kind of like teeth on a zipper, the way they fit together. So they're kind of like meshing like that. I mean, I don't know if that made sense, but let me know when you guys get to this point, okay? And I have my glasses off, so I can't even see the computer screen. So I can't see what you guys are doing.
They are dotting.
Okay, they're dotting away. Oop. This is mine. Okay, we're gonna check our phone battery again.
Yep, we're good.
It's good. It's charging. Okay. All right.
No.
So let me know when you want to catch up or when you want to move to the next step. Is anyone done already?
I am.
You are? Okay. So think about your next color. I'm actually going to mix up a little bit of the red with the white. And you can do this in a little, you can do this on your palette, which I think was what I'm going to do. Here's my brush. Oh my God. Oh, I got it here. So go ahead. I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm going to make like a pink. I want to do a lighter color. And I guess if you guys are using the same palette that I am, what you can do is kind of scoop the paint into the corner so it creates a little well. And you don't need too much because I'm just going to do one row with this color. So let me know when you guys are ready and we'll go on to the next step. You don't have to mix a color up. You can just use another color. You could use the red or the blue or the green. You could even use the white. But I went ahead and I made like a little pink here. And yeah.
Do you need it closer to you?
No, I think it's okay. Can we have, she was mentioning how it was not really sideways. I mean, not really straight up and down. Is that better? Is that pretty secure there?
Yeah, it's pretty secure. It's a little bit wobbly because it's part of the pegboard.
Okay.
Now it's over the palette.
But it's a little bit far from me. That looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do like this. All right, is that a little bit better as far as the angle, you guys?
Yeah.
It's less of an angle? Okay, good. All right, so if you're ready to go, let me know. I just want to make sure everyone's got their first ring around the center done. How you doing, Luciano? Good, okay. Awesome. So I'm going to start doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the plastic tools, use one of the smaller ones. You want to make a dot that's bigger than the dots that are there right now. So there's this one. Oh my gosh. And then there's this one. I'm going to go with this one. You could even go with the purple one if you wanted. But I'm going to go with the one in between, like this. And what you want to do is you want to go and do the same thing. Basically, you're gonna make another series of dots. So I'm just going to pick a space between the two bigger dots, like this. And I made a dot. Oops. And then I'm going to turn it around. I normally don't turn it around, but for you guys, I'm going to do it just so you can see, so it's on your side. And then you want to kind of visualize, like imagine a straight line, kind of like imagine, here, I'll do it with this. Imagine like there's a straight line. So it's hard to do with it, but you just want to, maybe I can do it with this. So you want to have like an axis going. So you don't want it to be off like that. You want it to be more of a straight line. So I just visualize it and I just look at it, and then I'm going to go ahead and go straight down and do another dot. So there's my 12 o'clock and my 6 o'clock. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. You're going to do, I'm doing the 9 o'clock, I guess. And then I'm going to do the 3 o'clock. So again, visualize it and make a straight line. And so I'm dipping each time because you want the same amount of paint on the tool, so they're the same size. Now, if you wanted, you could change the size of this dot. of the other intermediary dots, you could change it to a larger, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same size just to create another ring. And so when you do this, again, visualize this like axis, and then also make sure it kind of looks centered between those two. Well, I know I'm probably making it look really easy, but it gets easier as you do it. Once you get into the hang, and once you get into the swing of things, it goes pretty quickly. And sometimes I work on like 3 or 4 at a time. So rather than change the colors, I'll change the canvas and I'll do like a set of 3 or a set of 4 even sometimes. We almost could use an extra light, but that's okay, I guess. If you're doing a shadow, that's okay. All right, so once you do that, you can maybe change the color. I think I'm going to just add a little more red in there. And I'm going to take one of the smaller tools. Oh my God. Okay. It's so weird. Everything's backwards. Where's my tool? Yeah, everything's backwards. All right, so anyways, you guys aren't going to be able to see my tools, but I mean my paints. Where's the camera? Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe I can do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can see it. Yeah.
There. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my red, and I have some white in there. Oops. And then I'm just going to do a dot in the middle. So what you start to do at this point is you start to have fun playing with colors and playing with size. And you'll, as you do more of these, you can get really creative, and you can vary the sizes, or you can kind of keep them the same size. One of the things I found out is that if you vary the size of the dots, it adds a little bit more visual interest. So if you do a whole bunch of dots that are all the same size, it gets a little monotonous. But it's okay. It looks like a really tight. It looks like a really tight mandala, rather than one that's kind of big and open. Here's again. Here I'm going to show you the example of this. This has some really big dots on the outside, but on the inside, they're all roughly the same size. I mean, they graduate and get a little bit bigger. So think about that. Now I'm going to grab a bigger tool. I think I'm going to do the blue one. You might want to do the purple one. You can even do the red one. But what color should I do? I think I'm going to switch it up to blue. So I'm going to do the dark blue. Take my glasses on. Oops, sorry. I hit the camera with the tool.
That's okay. I don't like it.
Okay. Let me do it here. So that's a big one, you guys. So one. See, and I got a little off center somehow. So if you can tell, it's not a straight line now. It's a little off center. So, that'll happen, but it usually corrects itself. It's not exactly perfect, but that's okay. Oh, I don't get enough paint. Okey-doke. So I don't know how you guys are doing, but I know that it's going to take you probably a little bit longer. So I'm going to have some tea. I'm going to make a little noise right now, guys, because I want to blow dry this. Oh. I have an extension cord. Should we do the extension cord? Yeah. We can plug this in there, and then we can plug both of these.
Or this one will fit. This one will fit. Then we can plug this one in.
Right. That won't that go into the
Yeah.
No, that goes into there, right?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
that goes into there too. And then that has to go in there because that's the big one.
Oh, can I just put both of these in here? Or?
No, the reason why this isn't working very well is because this is such a big point.
Oh.
Okay,
Well.
it's fine.
Well, I want this one. No.
Here, I'll show you what I need. So this one will plug in there.
Right.
And I'll plug this in here.
Right.
And I can plug that one in there too. So now everything works.
Well, you could probably. Oh no, you're right because it might overheat. Huh? You can put that behind you too, or over your head or something. There. All right, hang on, you guys. If you do blow dry, you don't want to get it too close because it might splatter, which might be a cool effect, but probably not for Mandala. So I'm going to go over here so it's not as noisy. Working?
Yeah. It's someone else doing. Hello.
Someone else. Hi, how are you? I wonder if Frank's here. Is Frank there? Is there someone in France? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you guys still there?
Yes, we're still here.
Okay, we blew a fuse or something. So let's turn this off.
I can hold the light if you want to keep going.
Oh.
You can kind of hold it so that it's like.
Well, your phone's gonna hold the charge?
Yeah, it's charged for a bit. Let me find a good angle here.
Okay, so we blew a fuse thanks to my blow dryer. And how are you guys doing? Are you guys caught up to this point?
I am. I had to go blow dry in the other room because my light I was attached to blew it out too.
Oh my gosh. Is there a reset switch on on that power switch? Sometimes it shuts off and there's a reset switch.
I was looking for it.
No?
See.
It would usually be here. It seems like one of those other ones might work. Well, there's kind of still enough light. What about if we plug it into that whole thing is gone, huh?
Oh yeah, that's it.
That whole everything on that thing.
Yeah.
Can we plug into another plug over there? Okay.
Let me check something.
Yay! Oh, that's just too weird.
We're just running into like every problem possible. Goodness. Yeah, this is gone too. Okay.
What's
so
gone?
The power here as well. So we have no power.
But you're running off a battery.
Yes.
Okay.
My battery's 40%. That's all right. And then the phone has 20.
Okay.
26. That's fine.
It might be okay. Okay, so sorry about the light here. You want to hold this?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bright light though.
Really bright, yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of too bright. Let me see if I can try something here.
Like the few. No, that's too thick.
Yeah, let me get it.
Ooh, like a tissue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take one of the bigger styluses, like the white or the blue, maybe even the green, and then I'm gonna put a dot. I don't know if you can see this. That helped a little. But I'm going to make a dot on the outside of the biggest dot. Oh, that's not helping. That's okay. It would have to be like up here, like that. You know, I don't know if you want to do that, but. So, can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay. It's just so bizarre. I'm not used to this. All right, so one here. Oh, we have power.
Yay.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll take that.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. I have to turn the heater off when I do the blow dryer. Okay, so I am going to place a big dot on the outside of this biggest blue dot that I did. And that is going to be where we start to walk the dots. So now I'm going to switch to maybe one of the smaller ones. I'm going to do the white one. And again, it doesn't really matter what size you do. You just want to have a smaller stylus for this. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell. Okay, there. I'm just going to have to move this out just a little bit, you guys.
Oh, need to readjust.
It's just not. I just don't want to have to lean forward so far. There we go.
Okay, does that work better?
That looks good. Works for me.
Okay.
You got a thing. So after you do your outside starter dots, I'm going to call them starter dots. Go ahead and dip a smaller stylus. And you could use the same size, but I switched to a slightly smaller one. And then we are going to start walking the dots. Like that. You see that? So there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you do it tightly together, you can get more, obviously. You don't have to do it too tight. But you'll find that as you do this, when they're tight, they kind of look cool. Because it looks, you start to get this look where it looks almost embroidered or something. So I like to do it all on one side first. And That way, if you wanted to, you could just do it on one side and then you get a certain look. You get like this kind of spinning look. But for the sake of the workshop, I'm going to do both sides. So there's what you should end up with, something like that. And after you do it a few times, go ahead and take your tissue and wipe it off. You don't want it to get too bulky and built up on there. Let me turn this back on. Shut it off when I do that.
Yeah, that was definitely one.
Yeah, there was both of them together. Yeah. This should turn up. Now, if you wanted, you could change the color for this side. You could get creative. You can maybe do an orange or something, or you can go back to the pink. But I think I'm going to just stay with the yellow for simplicity's sake. Oops, I think I got the wrong side. And just go real slow, you know. The hardest part about this, I guess, is having a steady hand. So again, remember what I said about resting your pinky or resting the edge of your hand on your surface. What I like to do is I like to actually sit at a high table, so I'm not having to crouch down over the table so much. In this case, I actually have a box on the table, and that's lifting the whole surface up closer to my face, so I don't have to scrunch over so much. And And you can kind of tell with this blue, because when I did the blue dot, the black is kind of showing through, which kind of lets you know that the paint doesn't have as much pigment. Sometimes the student grade or the economy paint is a little more watered down. So you want to keep that in mind when you purchase paint. Like I said, go ahead and splurge and get the expensive one, which is like 30 cents more. It really makes a difference. So there's that. You could do your school colors. You could do your favorite NFL football team if you watch football. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes when people do these stones, they want to do colors that evoke a memory or a mood for them. Sometimes people do chakra colors, like the red for the root chakra, or the green for the heart chakra, or the pink for the heart chakra, and stuff like that. So, you know, you can get really creative. You can also do it all in white or all in one color. You can do like a monochromatic type of color scheme. Those are always nice. And you can also do a gradation of color from like light blue to dark blue, kind of like an ombre. So it's really limitless as far as what you want to do with your colors. Have fun mixing up your colors. If you want, you can get one of these little kits like this. They have them like at Hobby Lobby, or they have it at Michael's. And then you can do the dark blue here, and then you could put blue in colors, and then when you paint your piece, you can have those colors gradate out, and that's a really cool effect. So think about that. You can always do a little prep work with your paints. I generally, to be honest, work straight out of the tube, but I will mix inside the palette. So I will add like, you know, a little few drops of something just to change the color a little bit. And on this blue, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to make this a lighter blue, and then we're going to top dot, and we're going to do a lighter blue on top of the darker blue. Or you can choose whatever color you did for your large dot. You might want to mix the lighter color and do a top dot on top. You'll see that it creates like an effect where it looks like the dots, you know, kind of raised up or something, because it creates a shadow. So I'm going to do that right now, actually. Let me blow dry. Oh, I can't blow dry.
You can blow dry it as long as
I shut that off.
So we'll just blow dry.
Well, let me shut that. Okay, now that's shut off.
We'll play this.
Oh,
There
this
we
one.
go.
Or I could plug it in over there and just walk over there and do it. Is there another plug over there? We can just go over and. That probably doesn't draw much. It's just this one here.
Yeah.
Hang on, guys. I'm blow dry. Oh, there's a plug right there. Oh, but it's you. What is that yellow one? The bus outside? God, I hope this isn't like a ghost ship living in the house. You know what I mean? Do you know the ghost ship? Do you know about the ghost ship? Oh, it's an artist lost section and budget, and we were on the side again and doing the buses and stuff, and they tore it out, and they're like 30 people. Yeah, just make sure that you know.
We can talk over about that. Like,
All right, I'm back. So I blow dried a little bit. I'm going to mix up a little blue. That's lighter. I'm going to show you a technique. The next technique is called top dotting. So top dotting is going to allow you to get more interest to your piece.
Does it need to be completely dried?
For top dotting, it should be pretty much dry, yeah. But now, some of the first dots that you did, like the first or the second row, those should be pretty dry by now. I don't know.
Seems like the larger ones have more paint on them and aren't drying this quickly.
Yeah, they'll take a little bit longer to dry. But when you're doing this at home, you know, you'll find, well, when I do it, like I said, I'm working on 3 or 4 at a time, or 2 or 3 at a time, usually at least. And so there's a little bit of space between my steps. But, and if the paint is kind of thick, you can go ahead and thin it with a little water. I'm just going to add a touch of water to this. To use for any dot, not Sorry. Who's that?
Okay. That's me. Okay. Just a moment, everybody. Having more technical difficulties. There's the video. Oh, hello. Oh. Okay, so.
That works?
Yeah, it's going again.
It's going the other way now. It's more vertical, which I guess works okay.
Let's see. What works best here?
Well, we had a horizontal format before. I don't know why. No, you know what I mean? It was this way.
Oh, yeah, it's probably because the phone, like, because I'm trying to get it to, like, lock.
Can you lock it? That'll work though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Oops, it might be upside down. Yeah, it's kind of trouble.
Oh, it kind of like caught up.
Yeah. Okay.
So put this over here a little more. Okay. All right, so I mixed up a lighter blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a top dot on top of the blue. So figure out or try and remember what size you use to make the bigger dot. And then you wanna get a stylus that's smaller than that. It could be the next size down. I like to go like 2 sizes down, and I'll just illustrate what it does. So I'm going right in the middle, and there you go. And you can also do it off center, and you can kind of get a neat effect with that, but we'll save that for another class. So as you can see, this color is actually a lot brighter on top of the black. So think about adding white to some of your dark colors just to get them to pop out a little bit more. But sometimes the dark colors look cool because it creates like a shadow effect. So there's that. And again, I dip the stylus in the paint each time so it's the same size. Basically, when you use this stylus, if it's not a rounded ball stylus like this, you can't really walk the dots. This is just for making one dot. So speaking of walking dots, I'm going to put, actually, I'm not going to walk the dot. I'm just going to put another dot. I'm going to use a smaller stylus, and I'm going to put another dot and just squeeze a dot right by the pink. And that should bring a little bit of interest next to that pink. And you'll get kind of like an echo color that's kind of like related to the bigger blue dot. And this is where it starts to get fun because you start to layer things. God, who's texting me? Oh, gosh. Oh, Elizabeth is doing this. Hi, Elizabeth. Yes, practice your dots. Everybody needs to practice their dots. I think what I'm going to do, that pink is chalky for whatever reason. I hope this isn't matte paint, but I'm going to do a bright red dot inside the pink dots. So yeah, just rotate that all the way up. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to use the green stylus, which is the biggest dot stylus, and I'm going to put one right in the middle. And I'm going to dress up that pink a bit because it kind of looks like a dead Pepto-Bismol pink. So, and as you can see, it's starting to come to life. You're starting to get these little different layered effects and everything. So have fun, that's the main part. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the cardstock or a piece of Post-it paper, and I'm going to show you a new technique that might come in handy. And this is something I learned fairly recently. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here, but on this, I'm going to show you the new technique. This is something that you can do with the ball stylus. So I'm going to take, let's just like a medium-sized one here. I'll do the blue. It's like you make a dot and then you can drag it out. So it's a kind of a cool thing to do. Usually it ends right when the paint runs out. So it's kind of like a claw mark, like that. You can curve them.
I like that.
Yeah, this is fun. You can draw them towards you or draw them away from you. So this is a kind of a new way to make, it's not a dot, obviously, but it's a new way to make a pattern. So practice that, and then while you're practicing, you know, if you're done with this part, you can maybe practice this, and then you're going to be able to incorporate this into the mandala. So that's this blue one. I'm going to switch it now to a smaller one. Let me do the yellow. I don't think I've used the yellow. The yellow is going to do the same thing. It'll make a smaller dot, and then the line will be even smaller. So you can still, you know, get that sharp line. You can add a dot. So this is something you can practice. Since I think you guys probably need some catching up, I'm going to go ahead and play around with some patterns. Here's, you can do a little curve like that. Oops. Oh, so you have to get enough on there, otherwise it's not going to pull out long enough. So there's, you know, different things. My advice is just to play around with the paint, play around with your tools, see what you can do with it. You can join them. Maybe with a dot in the middle. Oh my gosh. I like doing these. You can also do them in conjunction with the with walking the dots. So you can blend them like this. Stuff like that. So let me try this. And you can't do that with the flat stylus, but you can do it with the ball stylus. So go ahead and just experiment and play. What I want to do is on this, I want to do some lines coming out of here. And I think I'm going to do white just so it really pops out. So let's try that. And this is optional. You guys don't have to do this step, but it's kind of fun to learn how to do it because you get a good result. And I think I'm going to use the blue. So with this one, I just kind of visualize a line and I create my dot and then I go in. Ooh, that one's a thick one. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Let me see. Visualize my line and pull in. Visualize my line and pull in. Yay. All right, so that's a little thick, so I'm going to switch to a smaller stylus. I'm going to do the white one. This should work out better. Visualize the line, place the dot, and pull it. Oh, it looks it's the same size. So yeah, maybe go with a smaller stylus for this step. Yay.
So pretty.
Yeah, and when you start doing a lot of these lines, it kind of looks kind of like that Swedish style of painting. I forgot what they call it, but it's kind of like toll painting. They do a lot of like swirly things. They use a brush though, but you can definitely have fun with these swoopy shapes. I don't even know what they're called. I just call them pulling out a dot. So yeah, I'll do a few more here. Get out of the way. Here I'm gonna. It's so weird that it goes the opposite.
Yes.
That's okay. So here I'm gonna practice more of these lines. And it does depend on the paint. I think if you have a real fluid paint, like a slippery paint, you're going to be able to pull it out a little bit more. And this paint is a little bit less slippery. But yeah, it's a fun technique. And I'm still learning how to do it. There are people that are really talented at this. They can do some really amazing designs. Sometimes they'll make a big dot like this, and then they'll take another tool like a knitting needle or a toothpick, and then they'll use that to pull paint down. Teardrop shape.
Oh, there goes.
So we're back. So I'll do that again in case you missed it. Sometimes what people do is they make a big dot like that, lots of paint, get a lot of paint on there. And then using a really fine stylus or a toothpick, and I'm using like a crochet needle here, I think, or a knitting, I don't know what this is, knitting needle. You can use the tool to pull the shape down to create like a raindrop. So that's another option. Let me put my glasses on and see what you guys are doing.
Hang on.
How are you guys doing?
Good. I kind of got ahead of the teacher. And
where are you? Show me what you did. Oh yeah. See, look at you go. Wow. So yeah, you can do, you already know how to do your top dots. You're getting creative with your little pulled out dots. That looks great, Cindy. You're Cindy, right?
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. The thumbnail is so tiny.
Oh, I know.
Now, who else is here? How can I tell? Is that Emmy and Brandon? Luciano.
Luciana, we got Yumi.
Yumi, okay. And then Cindy, okay. And Poppy, oh, that's us. And Ronica, oh, she's the okay. So, oh no, we lost power again. Why is that? It can't be that. That's such a low drain. It must be this. We keep losing power. At least we have some light though.
Yeah.
Whee. All right. So yeah, oh wait, is that Luciano? Whose is that? Luciano? Oh yes.
Luciana.
Show me again. Show me again. It seems like it's that.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks good, Luciana. Oh, who did the small one? You did too. Got you guys. I can keep going. You guys are all caught up. Let me think. What can I do now? Because I have a lot of space left over.
I'm just adding a bunch of dots. I'm walking the dog or whatever you called it.
Walking the dots. Yeah, walking the dots. Exactly.
Oh.
Hang on. Oh, I guess we're back. Is that my hand? Yes, my hand's there. Okay. So now, is my center dry? I think my center's dry enough. I like to do black in the center for whatever reason. It's just like, it makes it look like there's a hole in the middle. So what is the next size? Is it the pink? What did I use? Yeah, I'm going to use the pink one. So I'm going to do a top dot on the middle, and that's going to bring black into the middle. Usually I do a matte finish on the background, and then all the dots are satin or glossy. So there's that contrast. But right now, this base coat is matte. So I didn't want to do a black dot on the black background. It would have been the same. So there, now I have a hole. There is my center dot. I'm going to go ahead and get creative. I'm going to put a little bit of this light blue into the white on the middle. So I'm going to use a very tiny tool to do that. I just want to bring some of this blue down there. Oh, it kind of has a, I don't know. I like blue and white is such a pretty color. I mean, color combination. It reminds me of Greece. Yay. Now, I think I'm going to use up this blue. I'm going to do another row of, I'm going to walk another row of dots around the yellow. So here I'm going to go with another dot around the yellow. And this paint is not right. I don't know if it's because it's cold or if it's the paint, but I'm not getting perfectly round dots, but they seem to be okay. I mean, there's a little give and take with this technique. Let's see, I don't know which one was the. So now I've got another row of blue and just to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to actually lighten up this blue just a little bit more. Just so it's a little bit lighter. So I'm going to, how do I show you this? So I'm mixing up another shade of blue. And then I'm going to do this lighter blue dot on top of the middle dot. This is a pretty basic thing to do. It's like a graduated top dot, which creates kind of a cool ombre effect within the dot. But before I do that, let me go ahead and do my secondary dots here. I'm going to walk these dots down. And I don't know if you guys know it, but there are some people that can't look at dots. I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's called trypophobia, I think. There are people that have this condition. I don't know if it's called a condition or it's just the way they are. They get freaked out by looking at dots. So like even like an English muffin with the holes in the English muffin, it like makes them feel queasy and uneasy. So I'm glad that you guys aren't experiencing that, because you definitely don't want to feel queasy when you're creating your dot mandalas. I've had people come up to my booth at the farmer's market and like run away because they see the dots. They're like, oh my God. So I don't know if you could tell, but this is a little bit lighter blue than the blue dot in the middle here. So it's going to add a little visual interest when I do the top dot. And keep in mind also that acrylic paints, as a rule, always dry slightly darker, unlike tempera paints and oil paints. For some reason, the acrylic paints will dry like a shade darker. So if it looks nice and, you know, the color that you want it, just know that it's going to dry a little bit darker. So I'm going to actually add a little bit more white to this because I want it to really pop out. Oh, I like the train sound though. Cool. So, I don't know if you can tell, I am mixing this up. A little bit lighter blue. So I think on this side is the original blue, and then this is the new lighter blue. So it's going to look a lot lighter on top of the other blue dot. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm not even going to blow dry it. I shouldn't risk it, huh? Yeah. The blow dry might throw it too, huh? Yeah, and it depends on, really, it depends on too, yeah. The bottom dot isn't completely up a bit, but we're gonna try it anyways. We're gonna see. Ooh, that's too big. Let's see. Let me go with I'm supposed to keep. I'm gonna go with a slightly smaller stylus and go right in the middle. It seems to be doing okay. Yeah. So it has a dark blue dot with a medium blue dot and then a light blue dot on top. And so when you do that, it kind of gives you this visual lifting you know, I don't know how to describe it. It kind of makes it pop out a little bit. It gives it a little bit of depth, which is fun. See, that one pulled up because the paint's still wet. So. Oh, that one pulled up too. Here, let me see. Yay. So I don't know if you can tell, but there is some gradation going on within that dot. It's a dark blue, medium blue, and a light blue. Now, if I wanted to, when it's dry, I could come in with a little white dot right on there, and it would even pop out even more. I'm going to do one more dot. God, I'm kind of feeling this blue, but I think I'm going to make it green now because I don't have any green on this. And I'm getting cold, so I'm going to put my sweater on.
Might not be into this heater. They were using it earlier.
Yeah, that might be less. This is 1500.
Hey, Jimmy, quick question.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to get our little canvases out? Online?
Well,
One of the shops?
well, I just go to Michael's.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, most of I do canvases, but I paint on rocks. So when you paint on rocks, you know, pick a smooth rock. If the rock has a nice shape and you like it, but it's not perfectly smooth, you can always get spackle, and you can coat the rock with spackle, just a thin coat. And then when it's dry, you can take like a sandpaper and smooth it out and then base coat it. A lot of the rocks that I find are like the perfect shape, but they have some pits in it. So
where do you get your rocks at?
I get them at a house in Valley Springs. There's a woman that lives on top of a hill, and her place has the best rocks. And also Mimi's Cafe used to have the greatest rocks, but I'm afraid to go there anymore because they're closed, and they're probably wondering why there's somebody picking up rocks.
You just kind of steal them from people?
Well, no, I babysit for her husband, who's 90 years old. So it's the heater. I did it again. Oh.
Reset it.
So yeah, you know, wherever. I'm always looking down. My friend Elizabeth has wonderful rocks in her backyard. There's a stone that you can get. I think they're called Mexican river rocks, and they're dark black, or they're dark gray. They're almost black. When they're wet, they look black. They are amazing. They're like so smooth. You don't have to do any prep work. And in fact, you really don't even have to paint them, you know, black. You can just paint right on the rock and it looks really cool. But you can paint on all kinds of things. This dish here, this is a, oh, I better move this. Everything's backwards for me. This dish here is, you know, it's a little terracotta dish that I get these at Michael's. Now with these, you want to put a coat of resin on them, or, you know, you want to put some clear acrylic varnish. Usually I use a satin varnish, and that will help waterproof the dish. Not so you can really eat out of it, but, you know, to use it for a ring dish or something like that. A lot of times I just leave the artwork just as is. I don't want to put varnish over it, because if I put varnish on it, it makes the whole surface the same sheen. And I really like to look at the contrast between the matte and the satin and the gloss. So unfortunately, that makes my pieces kind of delicate. You don't want to put them outside. But if you want, you can always coat your rocks with resin, or coat your things with resin. It makes it a lot more durable. It'll make it more durable for moisture, but not necessarily the light, because the sunlight will fade acrylic paint. Sorry for shaking the thing. But yeah, I just leave mine unvarnished because I like the play of light and shadow on the different surfaces. So what can I do now? Oh, I'm going to mix up a green. So let me do the greens. Oops. Get a little yellow. And I'm gonna make a nice green, hopefully. So there's quite a bit of white already in this blue. So it's not gonna be a very, very bright green, but it'll definitely have a green cast to it. Are any of you guys mixing colors, or are you guys just using the straight colors, or?
I'm mixing.
You're mixing, good.
This charger right here.
Okay.
So it's 45 watts. I don't know about amperage. So essentially, this keeps shutting off because it's trying to. It's a safety. So what I'm thinking, you plug the heater directly.
So
into there.
I have a little more space around here, so I'm going to go ahead again with a rather large dot. I think this is the biggest dot I've used so far. Oh no, I already used this for the blue. I'm going to go ahead and use it because the blue is you can't really see that dark blue. But I'm going to go ahead and go on the tip of the whites, of the white swoops. And this is going to really fill out my canvas pretty much all the way.
What is, there's safety, whatever's inside here, it shuts off. It sends a signal to the power and it shuts everything.
Oops, I messed up, didn't I? Oh, look what I did, see? We have a technician in here helping us with our electrical, and I was listening to him and not paying attention. So here's an example of cleaning up. Like, I'll show you what I can do. I'm just going to use my wet nap, and I'm going to swipe away. And see, since my paint wasn't fully cured, it's lifting the black paint. But I was able to get most of that off right away. So let me go ahead and fill this black in with some, this little area, fill it in with some more black.
We're working on the power grid. And we're going to get a whole separate box down the line so that we can run as much things as we need. Yeah.
Okay. So what did he say about the heat?
He said it's overloading the power with any sort of extension cord.
Oh, so if it's directly into the wall.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Well, can we unplug one of these?
I don't think so. I don't know what those do.
Or we should have asked him what that yellow was. I think that yellow goes to the school bus or something.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm back in business. What was I using? Was I using pink? I think. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. That wasn't me. Oh, I don't need the heat. That's okay. That's okay. We just need the light. Okay, so her camera's pretty good because it's pretty dark right now, and it looks like it's pretty bright on the screen. We're having a bit of a electrical situation here. All right, so now I've done this, and I'm thinking, what do I want to do around the outside? I think I'm just going to walk the dots, but this would be a good time to actually do a whole row of dots of the same size. But since we're a little pressed for time, I'm just going to go ahead and walk some dots around it. And I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and just do the pink, even though it's drying matte, which I don't like. So again, I do my starter dot. And sometimes it's nice just to leave a starter dot on the outside. It kind of just adds a little sparkly touch. But I will go ahead and fill this in. So when you guys are done, feel free to send Chai your finished piece so we can do like a collage of all the work that we did on the workshop.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I really enjoyed seeing the boxes that you guys did.
Yeah, thank you for sharing yours too, Jimmy. They're so pretty.
Oh yeah, that was Davina's workshop, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with a tea bag box. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think me and Noriko and Luciano, we all did tea bag boxes. It was awesome. So again, you can decorate these mandalas with additional things. You could glue sequins onto them. You can buy those little Swarovski crystals and you can glue those on. I like to use the E6000 glue because it really seems to hold. But I like also to use the glitter paint or the holographic paint or the metallic paints. And I do a lot of my top dots with those. So that adds a little sparkle too. And I'm almost done. Oops. So when you're doing these, you can really play around with scale of the dots. These big green dots on the outside really, added, it kind of punched it up, which is kind of cool. But I think I'm going to kind of finish it off with just one dot in the middle here that's kind of floating away from everything else to keep it kind of open on the edge. So I'm thinking of doing it in white. So let's try white. Oh my gosh. Am I opening the wrong side? Oh, there we go. All right. And let me see. All right, hang on. I'll do this size. And a lot of times I just eyeball it. So as I'm doing this dot here, I'm kind of thinking, okay, I want it to be equidistant from this blue dot and from the green dots. So I just kind of, visualize it. I'm not really measuring or anything like that, of course. And you'll get better as you go as far as the spacing. There we go. Wow. And I think with this, I'll stay with the white, but I'm just going to add maybe 3 dots. I'll do 1, and then, well, I'll do all my outside ones first. switch to a smaller stylus. I think I'll do just 2 little ones. So I'm just going to dip and then dot, dot. So one's going to be a little bit smaller, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Dot, dot. Oh, they look like dog paws. Yay, dog paws. Okay, so what can I do now? Oh, another thing that you can do is where's my red one? I'm missing things. You can dot on top of the things that you pull out. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and use the green, so it brings some of this green down into the painting. So I'm going to put a dot, like maybe 2 dots there. So again, you can go to town layering this stuff. Sometimes I have like 6 layers on some of the dots. And then just by putting this green dot, it really tones down that white. So I might have to do a little dot on top of the white dots here once they're dried. So I think maybe I'll do a white dot on top of the blue, but I think it's a little wet. I'll try it though, because I kind of want to let you guys see what it looks like when you do a gradation from a dark color to white. So I'm just going to use a really wet ball stylus and just drop it on top of the blue. Yeah. And I might as well just do a little dot on top of the red. Why not? It looks kind of like peppermint. Yay. Okay, so that's almost done. Yeah. Yeah, I think what I would do is I would figure something out to do on top of the green and the white, because they're a little too I don't know. I kind of like the green, but I think the white could use something. So one of the things I might think about doing is pulling in a color from the inside of the mandala out towards the outside. So I think maybe even the yellow might look nice. Bring some of this center color. I could even do a black dot, just get creative, but you have to kind of wait for that to dry. So we'll give that some time to dry. Maybe I'll do a little teeny dot here. And yes, there is such a thing as overworking it. So that's something that plagues every artist, is they overwork their art. But luckily with dot mandalas, usually it's not so much that less is more, but more is more, because just the more dots you add, the more lush it looks, really. A lot of times if I have a background like the corners here, sometimes people will put a dot in the corners and then work their way towards the inside, but I usually like to leave it blank. But you could do a tone on tone thing, and you could do like I could do a metallic black on top of the black background just to give it some interest, or you can just leave it black. So I'm going to touch up my little spots. Sometimes as you drag your tool from your palette or from the paint to your artwork, you're going to get little spots of paint that kind of fly off, and you can just touch those up with the black paint. I think that's it. There's one there. So, and that's it, I think. What time is it?
It is currently 5:56.
I knew it. I knew. I haven't had anything yet. So I'm going to. Is it?
I think it froze.
Oh, it froze. Oh no, it
Oh,
goes.
there it goes.
So let me pull this back just a bit.
Yay. See the final product. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's so weird to. Okay, or I can just do this. Here, let me do this. I kind of want to see what you guys are working on. Let me put my glasses on. Okay.
Does anyone want to share what they've done?
Nice. Oh, I like your little spikes on the outside. That looks awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice, Cindy.
Thanks. Like I said, I kind of jumped ahead of you, so I did them the opposite of what you did.
Well, that's that's what's so great about this. You can really just go hog wild and just do whatever you want.
Luciano.
That looks nice. Is that Luciano?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty.
That one's like an abstract star field.
Uh-huh.
It's Luciano's friend Teddy.
Oh, that's Teddy's. Oh, hi, Teddy.
And this is
That's
Sophie.
Luciano.
This is Luciano's friend Sophie.
Sophie, wow, full house. That's nice, Sophie. Really cool. Yeah.
This is my message.
Oh, I like it. You did like a cross, like an X shape or something. Yeah, very nice. I like it. And is that
that's
is that Yumi or is that Emmy? I can't tell. It's so small.
Yes, that's it. Yumi is Emmy.
Yeah, that's Emmy. Emmy, you look so grown up now. You've gotten so big. My goodness. Let me see what you did.
There's one called.
Oh,
Cool. I like the blues. My favorite color. That's very nice, Emmy. Thank you. So where's Elizabeth? I guess she was doing it on Facebook Live. She probably couldn't figure out the Zoom. Oops, sorry, Elizabeth. I didn't mean to say that. No, she had a problem with updating it. She said her computer was like doing it.
Well,
Oh, there's 3 people online?
Yeah, there's 3 people.
Wow.
Watching.
Hello, the Facebook Live people.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Mandala209 on Instagram or to the Chai team, and they can hook me up with you guys. So I'm so glad that you came. Enjoy your fabulous kits. You really got a good deal on the kits because that'll last you a lifetime. Although, be careful with this because they do break. The skinny ones do break. I broke mine a couple times. What was your question?
Okay, let me get back on here.
Okay.
The kit came with these.
Those are stencils.
So how do you work with those?
You know what? I very rarely work with those. Those you can work with a stencil brush, but apparently you can on some of the more simple ones. Let me go ahead and look at my stencils. Where's my stencils? I think, I haven't even opened this yet, but I think that some of them, oops.
Would you maybe brush those with one color and then work off of that?
You might be able to, yeah, to like stencil down a background. Oh, let me
Right.
see if there's a real simple one here. Wow, this one almost looks just like a,
It does.
this one looks almost like a dot mandala already.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is what's wonderful. I mean, you're gonna need you're gonna need a special stencil brush, which kind of looks like it's like a flat bottom brush. Sometimes you can do it with like a padded brush. Like I know Michael's has different stencil supplies. I don't do stencils so much, but I'm trying to think. These are all pretty intricate stencils. But like for instance, this one, you might be able to take a white pencil and draw these lines, and then you can dot over those lines. And then when the paint is completely dry, you can either wipe away the white pencil or something. But I have worked with some simple stencils on much larger canvases. So the stencils are about 12 inches or 8 inches in diameter. These are really tiny, but I mean, you could certainly stencil these and maybe dot on top of it. Yeah. This was like an added bonus that came with the kit. So.
Well, thank you guys for the nice kit. That was amazing.
Yeah, isn't it a great kit?
No problem. Thank you for attending the class.
Yes, thank you so much. So does anyone have any other questions or closing remarks besides me? Y'all about ready to wind it up?
Yep, just
Jimmy,
wanted
Okay.
Jimmy, I think this is just an awesome experience. I've never seen a mandala actually created.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is Veronica, right? Is that who said that? Yeah, I think so. All right. So, anyways, yeah, it's I've done these before. I've taught them workshops at the library and other places. So, yeah, if you want to learn more, just reach out to me. You know, I can answer questions and stuff like that. And thank you for the opportunity to do this.
Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Now remember, email Chai with your finished things and we'll do like a montage and we'll post it so people can see what y'all did.
Yeah.
All right.
Will do.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
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 Bring your stones.